3 overs by India versus Sri Lanka. Now there are different surfaces as well here. The surface they have on it, it's a very good surface. The highest chase score 285. It's a good surface to bat on this one. Once again, short pitch delivery will pick up one more run. That's the end of the 4th over, 21 for no loss.
چرا ما رو خبر نکردی اونا جوان؟
بابا چه کم گپ بزن مفت است مفت.
با پیشکش جدید افغان بیسیم تا میتوانید صحبت نمایید فقط در بدل 0.99 افغانی فی 30 ثانیه با تمام شبکه ها. منتظر چی هستین؟ همین حالا بروید و فعال کنید.
بیخی مفت است مفت.
ما افتخار میکنیم که افغان هستیم. افغانستان را دوست داریم.
For Afghanistan, 21 for no loss. Shahzad on 9. Hasanullah has looked very good, 12 of 12 for him. Going to be Jarvis once again coming on for his 3rd over, 2 overs, 8 runs for him. Man, going a deep square like the fine leg fielder, just coming inside the circle. He's got a slip in place. Oh, that's played in the air. Beautiful shot. Intentional there. Exactly what he was doing, going over the top there. Was in the slot for him. Picked up very nicely indeed.
Not too much worries about playing it on the rise there. Just making sure that he just opens the face to get it over the top of the fieldsman there in the covers. Beautiful shot. Around the off stump, not much of room to maneuver it, but he did well in presenting and making that connection from the sweetest part of the bat to get it over the top, to get a boundary. Good start to the over. Slower delivery, and he feeds it to the fieldsman. But it's true surface, the nature of the surface that enables the batsman to play with a lot of freedom, with no possibility of any deviation or any extra bounce.
You mentioned about the surface now. You see, this is a very hard surface, good binding as well. Now, no grass at all, but you can see the sheen, that color. That's the pitch today for the first one day. It looks to be a cracker of a surface. Once the dew comes in, probably the ball will come even better. Oh, that's played in the gap. That's played in the gap. Beautiful batting there. The second boundary coming for him in this over.
Right, we talk about batsman losing concentration. This time the bowler is feeding a freebie with fine leg up in the circle. Leg side is leg stumpist delivery that deserved the kind of treatment that the batsman has meted out to him.
Well, the margin of error for a bowler is minimal on this kind of surface. You can't really be straying down the pad line, can't be giving much room to the batsman. Hasanullah, well, he's looking good touch, 20 of 15. Not much experience as far as one internationals go, but he's looked very, very comfortable. Good temperament as well he's got. Once again letting it go, good technique. What I liked there was just letting the ball go, not ducking underneath. Just see the technique there. Just dropping his wrist. It was a short pitch delivery, just dropping his wrist, just swing from the line. Very nicely done. Very good technique. Many a times the batsman just ducks underneath, he takes his eyes off. But here what he's done is he's keeping eyes on the ball, watching the ball through and through.
Player to watch out for, especially in longer format of the game, with Afghanistan scheduled to play test match against India. So let it go outside the off stump. It's a good leave once again.
Jarvis not looking very happy, not getting much movement. It can get a bit warmer as well, although when we came it was the weather was pretty pleasant. Good temperatures here. The breeze also blowing across the ground. Graham Creamer, he knows they have to pick up early wickets just to put those early inroads, some pressure on the Afghanistan batting lineup. But it's been a good start here for Afghanistan once again. He's pulling that one. Will pick up a single and retain strike. 5 overs gone, 30 for no loss.
فريش بي بي دايبر علوم دسمال ترکیه هوا ساخت فريش بی بی ستاسو د ګرانو ماشومانو لپاره بهترین انتخاب.
هموطنان گرامی، پروفسور دکتر عبدالرؤوف که متخصص مشهور استخوان یعنی ارتوپدی کشور هندوستان می باشد و همچنان دکتر فاروق بت متخصص امراض داخله عمومی فعلا در شفاخانه رایل در خدمت مریضان محترم شما قرار دارند.
Afg Bank ODI Cup 2018, the first one-day internationals in 5 one-day series here. A lot of support for spin twin, Rashid and Nabi, chief contributors in the 2020 version of the game. Vittori to continue from the commentary box end. He wants a change in the field now. They're dropping the field spin from fine leg region to the deep fine, and the field spin from deep mid-wicket position is coming inside the circle on the onside. They persisted with that plan of having field spin at the deep square or deep mid-wicket for 2 or 3 overs. Now they recognize that they're conceding few runs down to the fine leg region. It's dropping that field spin to prevent those additional runs. Captain has a word with Vittori. He wants another fieldsman on the offside. Square leg going at the first slip maybe. Yes, they got slip in position now. Looking to take the ball away from right-hander. It's a good delivery. Attacking this chance. So making his comeback after a long time, Brian Vittori, but he's taking to good areas on this lovely surface for batting.
Yeah, but I like the technique from the batsman as well, right behind the line of that one, showing the maker's name to the bowler. He's got a very good technique, looking very composed as well, Ihsanullah. Oh, going for that airy-fairy shot. Just as I mentioned, he's looking very composed. Probably at times we have that commentator's curse, isn't it? Just mentioned he was looking very good, but just see, not a great shot attempted. Wanted to hike it big. Just missing the line completely. Perilously close to the outside edge. Very lucky there.
Yeah, he's rehearsing his shot. He wanted to go over covers rather than straight down the ground. That's what he's practicing at the moment. But the possibility of finding the nick is also there. Slower delivery, drives it beautifully. That's a glorious shot through the covers for 4. He's enjoying it at the moment. Timing, placement, everything is working for him, inshallah.
Oh, that's a glorious shot. All the people, all the supporters of Afghanistan team, they're pretty happy. This is much better. Once you can play shots like this, why take those aerial routes? This is an authentic cricketing shot. Letting the ball come to him. Just see beautiful position he gets into. Good balance as well. Lovely balance. The head very still. Leaning into the drive. Getting the result he wanted. Moves on to 25 now. Or 21. 5 fours in that. He's dealing in boundaries at the moment.
He's a stylish batsman. Shades of batsmanship from 90s. Some classical cover drives, and he loves this stroke, hitting it through the covers, and will enjoy the surface today. But retaining the concentration is something that has been the bane for Afghanistan batsmen over the years, and they need someone after getting this kind of a start should be thinking about getting 100 rather than throwing his wicket away in search of some glorious shots.
Yeah, he's much taller as well, Ihsanullah, as compared to Mohammad Shahzad. And he's got a good reach. He's utilizing that reach to good effect. He's wanting to play in the V, not trying to play across the line early on. Shahzad has got a different technique, you know. He's got totally a different technique. Likes to see how he's got those boundaries. Ihsanullah so far. Just milking the bowling, at times taking the ill route, finding those gaps to good effect. On this occasion, wanting a single. That's the end of the over. 6 overs gone, 34 for no loss.
چټک انټرنیټ ارمان درلود چې ستاسو کارونه نور هم چټک او ښه کړي. چې د یو ستر بدلون لپاره هم دې اړتیا لري. چټک ژوند ښه ژوند د افغان بیسیم 4G LTE.
موږ ویاړو چې افغانان افغانستان سره مینه لري.
So 6 overs gone, 34 for no loss. Afghanistan, Sikandar Raza, his experienced campaigner, 35 wickets for him. Economy has been pretty good, very decent. Under 5 for him, 4.91 to be precise. And a good outing in the tri-series. Sikandar Raza really batted well for Zimbabwe. He's a decent customer with the ball as well. So not a bad ploy because the runs were coming against the Seabirds. So just trying something different here. He's coming around the wicket as well, so try to tuck the batsman in. Not providing him with much room once he's bowling up on the middle and leg.
He's highly educated. He took steadily and left cricket for that steadily. It's very rare to see in modern eras. Hails from Sialkot in Pakistan. Played his first match against Pakistan. He made his debut against Pakistan in Test match cricket. Sikandar Raza goes for the big shot through the gap, airborne. Not worried about that. That's for Shahzad. Boom boom.
Yeah, everyone loves him. Everyone loves him. And the reason for that is because he can play these kind of shots. Won the slot. Not a bad delivery. Just tossing it up this time, flighting it, and Shahzad was after it. And once he's after it, it's going to be difficult to stop him. Going for that pull shot, going down the leg side. Optimistic appeal by the bowler.
Two batsmen with very different technique. Isan with his straight bat. It's a different case for Shahzad to a full-length delivery looking for that pull shot. Quicker one. 7 overs bowled, 38 for no wicket Afghanistan. Solid start from Afghanistan. 38 for no wicket in 7 overs. Victory to continue. Works to the onside, finds the filler. In the commentary box, I've been joined by Alistair Kimball. What do you make of start from Afghanistan? Different format and looking quite comfortable at the moment.
Looking very good. They've been in no trouble whatsoever. I just question a little bit the tactics of the Zimbabwe fast bowlers. They should have been a lot more back of a length bowled, a lot more shorter deliveries. They've tended to be too full, and all the scoring shots really have been full deliveries, drives. There we go, on the up, over cover. Isanula. Anything that remotely resembles being in his half, he's going to have a full crack. He's a confident bloke, and again he dispatches one over cover for 4.
Yeah, it's the confidence that's reflecting in his shot making. May not have found it from the middle of the bat, but still made enough connection on that occasion to get it over the top of the fieldsman. And though it's a slow outfield on the boundary ropes, near the boundary ropes, but it still travelled to the boundary ropes for 4. Adjusting to the little bit of extra bounce well. Just a minor conversation with bowler and wicket-keeper. Wants a change in the field maybe. So decided to remove the fieldsman from the slip cordon.
It wasn't a minor conversation, it was quite animated. Brendan Taylor was going moving his hands around quite wildly, trying to get the attention of the captain, make sure that they fortify the offside field. So 5 in the circle on the offside now.
Finds the edge and will run away for 1. Third man in position. So they removed the fieldsman from that slip cordon, and all of a sudden you find the edge is flying through that region.
The length, that's the difference here. It's back of a length, and that forces the batsman onto the back foot. Loves it off the front foot. Both these two, and most of the Afghanistan batsmen as well. Anything pitched up, they feel very comfortable, particularly on good batting surfaces such as this one here in Sharjah. So as a bowling side, you've got to talk about putting them under pressure, pushing them back, not allowing them to play off that front foot, and I just don't think they've done that enough in this opening salvo. And really, there hasn't been a chance. It has been very, very good thus far from Afghanistan. Just the start they would have wanted, winning the toss, batting first, looking to post a big total, and they've got off to a very, very good start.
Short ball against Shahzad, but too high, comfortable in leaving.
Now you say that, you say comfortable. I just think he doesn't like it up there. He takes evasive action. Yeah, here he goes. He's not looking at the ball, back of the helmet facing the bowler. That's not where he likes it, not where he wants to play. Leaving the periscope up. Luckily it didn't hit anywhere near the bat, but I just think he's not comfortable in that area. And if you're pushing the batsman back as a bowler, then when you do err on the full side, he's not fully committed. And it's the perfect length. Perfect length. If you're not going to bowl the bouncer, make sure that you're back of a length, hitting the splice. And I just don't think they've been enough in that area today, the Zimbabweans. And hence, you find that Afghanistan are 43 for none, looking very handy as well. We haven't seen Tendai Chatara yet. Sikandar has bowled 1 over. And the reason I say that is he's got a very good change of pace as well. So apart from not enough short deliveries for me, I just don't think there's been enough of a change of pace as well. There we go, back of a length again. Difficult for Shahzad. End of 8 overs, 43 for none.
چټک ژوند ښه ژوند د افغان بیسیم 4G LTE.
اوس د 4G سرعت څخه زموږ په دریجی کڅوړو کې ګټه پورته کړئ. 1 GB د 250 افغانیو په بدل کې، 3 GB د 400 افغانیو په بدل کې، 15 GB د 600 افغانیو په بدل کې. په پیغام پاڼه کې خپل د خوښې GB ولیکئ او 150 واستوئ.
موږ ویاړو چې افغانان افغانستان سره مینه لري.
From around the wicket, is trying to not give any width to the batsman to work with. It's good. You want a fast bowler in here or a spinner? Fine.
Up in the air, in the gap 4. He hit it really, really hard, did Isanullah. There was a moment where the fielder and the bowler might have thought there was a chance. But in the end, it was a dive in despair from the man at cover, just coming down the wicket and hit it right out the middle of the bat, trying to give it a bit of air. Sikandar Raza, but was too full, too wide, and with no fielders out there, really, at this stage of the game, a free hit, you'd have to say.
Quicker delivery, defends it.
To answer your question, I've got no problem with a change in tactics, change of pace, bringing the spinner on. Just an off-spinner against the right-hander at this stage of the game. I think it's pretty tough. It's up in the air. There are 2 fielders out there. So it'll just be the single. Not in control on that occasion. Isanullah just held back slightly by Sikandar Raza, and that affected the missed time from the batsman. Yeah, I've got no problem with the change. I just think with these two, that when the bowlers have got the ball in the right area, they prove difficult. And it doesn't help when you're not going to take half chances. It was a difficult one. It wasn't a straightforward one at all, but a perplexed stare from Sikandar Raza. That brings up 50 for Afghanistan. Shahzad trying to hit one over mid-off again, just not getting the elevation. And it was in the air for a long, long time. Despairing dive from Jarvis, I think it is, who's standing at mid-off. and all he's able to do is parry it towards the boundary. Half chance, but as I said, those, you've got to try and get them to stick, because it's those little moments in a game that really turn it on its head. End of 9, 52 for none.
کجا بخیر؟ خیریت خواسته؟
دیروز زنها دورسی قسم میکردن که وزارت صحت آمای قسم واکسین جدید شامل واکسین اطفال کرده. میرم کلینیک ببینیم چه قسم واکسین است. دکتر صاحب، خبر شدم که برای اطفال نوزاد کدام رقم واکسین به خاطر جلوگیری اسهال میدن. آیا گپ راست است؟
بله، خوشبختانه که وزارت صحت آمد در اواخر در پالوی دیگر واکسین های روزانه خود یک واکسین جدید در برنامه محافظت کتلوی خود اضافه کرده که نام از این واکسین روتا است و اطفال را از یک نوع ویروس خطرناک اسهالات وقایه میکنه. این واکسین دو بار برای اطفال تطبیق میشه که بار اول در 6 هفتگی یعنی 1.5 ماهگی و بار دومش در 10 هفتگی یعنی 2.5 ماهگی تطبیق میشه. خوبی از این واکسین است که به شکل پیچکاری نه بلکه از طریق دهان داده میشه.
خب خیر ببین دکتر صاحب، از معلوماتی که برام دادی خیلی کارت طفل مسنی را ببینه و بگوین که چه وقت نوبت واکسینش است.
طفلک شما 1 ماه است. 15 روز بعد که 45 روزش بخیر باز بیارش که واکسین روتا را برش تطبیق کنیم.
Afghanistan have won 5 to Zimbabwe's 4 Harare, 3-2. So not a lot in it, but still, at your home venues, you need to be making sure that you're on top. So they're ahead in 1 game each at all those 3 venues. No real difference. That's up in the air. Just falls short of the man in mid-off. So continuing to attack Lisanula. But there again, look at the length. And that's caused the false shot. Prior to this, the ball's been full and easy hit through the line. There we go. That's back of a length. He has to hit on the up now. And that is a totally different kettle of fish when you're having to try and hit the ball on the up. Very, very difficult shot. And hence, it produced the false stroke, but just not carrying to Graham Creamer at mid-off.
Has delicately played that one to take a single, but talk us through about the nature of surfaces in Bulawayo and Harare, how different they are from for example, Sharjah International Cricket Stadium pitch.
There's a bit of grass on the ones back home. Is the immediate difference. You can't see your reflection on the surface. The Sharjah one is all on its own, a different wicket from anywhere else in the world. Really is just rolled mud, and it's rolled to a sheen. Really, really good batting surface.
Another good short ball.
There we go, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Make it difficult. And it is a bit late. We're in the 10th over. Should have been done a lot earlier, this method of attack. And it would have made it all the more difficult early on for the Afghanistan batsmen. I just think they've started employing it too late. But the first 4 overs, 5 overs, there wasn't enough of this stuff. And that allowed them to get set and hit through the line.
And it's going to be different examination of Afghanistan batsmen throughout the series. It's a 5-1 international series, so may not be late realization from them. After 5 overs, realizing that what length to bowl, and they might persist it throughout the tournament. Might have found something clearly working for them.
You've got to sort of say to yourself as a team that if it's a good batting surface and the team is, going to get 260, 270, if that's a par score, make it difficult for them to get there. Don't just give it away and say, oh, it's a flat batting wicket. Make it difficult for the opposition to score. Try and bowl to their weaknesses. That's the key for me. End of 10, end of the first power play, 54 for none.
مؤسسه تحصیلات عالی شفا نصاب تحصیلی معیاری، اساتید با تجربه و مسلکی، تطبیقات، لابراتوارهای مجهز، کوزهای مسلکی و تقویتی، دیپلم در لسان انگلیسی و ترانسپورت رایگان برای الناس، همراه با فیس باور نکردنی، هیستوماتولوژی 16,000 افغانی، فارماسی 12,000 افغانی، حقوق و علوم سیاسی 8,000 افغانی. مؤسسه تحصیلات عالی شفا، آینده درخشان شما.
So end of the first power play, it means the start of the second power play, more luxury for the captain to spread the field, to have more number of fieldsmen on the boundary ropes, and the field will be slightly spread up, so that will give the opportunity to the batsman to work the singles round. Like this. Easy single.
Yes, 4 men allowed outside the circle and 5 have to remain inside the circle for the overs up to the 40th over, and then thereafter the captain can put 1 more back, and that'll mean 5 on the boundary edge and 4 have to be in the circle. Bit of width, and he's found the gap. Wasn't in control of that shot, Yusanullah. It was more a healthy leading edge than anything else. But he's found the gap and will get through for a brace.
Lovely tossed up delivery. Bit of extra bounce, bit of turn also. Held the edge through the gap. He's on to 38. Shahzad is betting on 19 of 27. 38 of 36. Hits it hard this time around.
He asked me about the pitches. Bulawayo pitches, more subcontinent-like, very good for batting. Nice even carry, even bounce. Very, very flat indeed. There's an even healthier edge. And this one's gone fine, and it'll go to the boundary for 4. Not a very good effort, you'd have to say. Brian Vittori it is, trying to put in a dive at the end to make the save. It was a bit tentative though, didn't really commit to trying to dive and haul it back. And in the end, made a little bit of a mess of it.
First thing first, taking the angle away from the delivery. Look at this one, just playing it deliberately, is opening the face of the bat, and then we needed a bit more commitment there on the boundary ropes. Maybe he can think about the prospect of having slip in position. Look at this one, not there. Works through the onside, will take single.
Maybe he thought he would slide a bit further. Just where he was sliding there, it goes from green grass to a dead area. Bit muddy. 11 overs bowled, 62 for none.
شفاخانه مدرن KMC از مشهورترین متخصصین هندی هر یک دکتر سومت آنند، پروفسور ارتوپدی و تعویض مفاصل، دکتر ماینک مادام، پروفسور معده، جراحی جهاز هضمی و لپراسکوپی دعوت به عمل آورده، از تاریخ 27 دلو الا اول هوت 1396 و همچنان دکتر عبدالعزیز از کشور هندوستان در بخش داخله عمومی به طور همروزه در خدمت هموطنان عزیز قرار دارد. ثبت نام جریان دارد. KMC تداوی با لبخند.
That's where he is. He's been a chief tormentor for Zimbabwe in 2020 series. Over the years, he's made this stellar contribution in the rise of Afghanistan cricket from level 5 to international cricket. Gets a leg side-ish delivery. And somehow he stops that one. Brendan Teller. Well, that's where he is. Mohammad Nabi. Getting a couple of important 40s with bat in hand, and will certainly love the conditions here. His son, Hassan, leg spinner. Watching the action, might be tempted to take a few lessons from his father and maybe from Mujib Jadran, I think. A right smile. Normally a composed look for Nabi. Good temperament. Just nudges it down to the third man for 1. Runs coming easily. The singles coming, they will have to do something different. Maybe introduce the leg spinner.
Good point. Creamer's a key factor in this game and where he bowls. And he's tended of late to bowl more towards the back end of the innings. And as they've tried to get on with it, he's been able to take a few crucial wickets. So very interesting to see when he decides to bring himself on and how he uses himself. Is it in one spell or 2 separate spells? Bulawayo, if I'm not mistaken, will be where Zimbabwe play Afghanistan in the World Cup qualifiers in the pool game. And that, you'd have to say, would determine who takes the most points and who finishes top to go into the Super 6 stage. So it'll be a crucial place where they will meet in Bulawayo, and it'll be interesting to see what the curator does there, what sort of pitch that he looks to prepare, what advice he's given from the Zimbabwe side as to what they want. Leave a bit of grass, make it a little bit of a seamer maybe. Very difficult to do that though in Bulawayo. And then Harare is a very good wicket as well. It's a bit more bounce, but a tennis ball bounce, a bit loopy the bounce. But still very good for batting. And plenty of runs on offer there if you get in as a batsman.
Very difficult to separate the two boys there. Maybe the height can be a little bit of a factor. One thing is sure, supporting Afghanistan all the way through.
Yep, of that there's no doubt. And every reason to be very happy at this juncture in the game. Cut away, there is protection out there. So it'll just be the single. They need a wicket here, Zimbabwe really do, just to stem the run flow. Just put a bit more pressure on. But at the moment, they'll be very happy with where they stand. Afghanistan, 2 batsmen in, particularly Isanulla, 45 of just 42 deliveries. Shahzad has been a wee bit more circumspect, 21 of 29.
Rides the bounce, works a single. They've been collecting a lot of singles from that third man region. 12 overs gone, it's 67 for no wicket.
با تبدیل کردن سیم کارت افغان بی سیمتان به سیم جدید یو سیم 1 جی بی اینترنت رایگان به دست بیاورید و از اینترنت 4G سریع مثل نور لذت ببرید. برای مستفید شدن از این پیشکش محدود به نزدیکترین نمایندگی افغان بی سیم مراجعه نمایید.
ما افتخار میکنیم که افغان هستیم، افغانستان را دوست داریم.
67 for no wicket. Sikandar Raja to continue. If the wicket falls, you reckon that they should be sending someone like Nabi in, man in form, or should he bat at his regular position?
No, his regular position. I don't think there's any need to change things. That only really comes about in the last bit of the game, in that last 10 overs, depending on how things stand and what the context of the game is. But at the moment, it'll be very much to stick to the same batting order, and they'd like this to continue. They need someone to back through. Isanulla, for me, is the man. He's got a good start, 3 away from a half-century. He's the man to go on and get 3 figures and allow everyone to bat around him. Invariably, when you get a guy getting to 3 figures, you can post a very good total, because then at the back end, a few guys can come in and play cameos, and we know that a lot of the Afghanistan batsmen have got good power games. Afg Live, Mohammed Nabi. So if they can play with a bit of freedom towards the back end of this innings, they can do a lot of damage.
Looking at the nature of the surface in the start, what would be, good score that they must be, visualizing in their mind? That's where they need to reach, at least to become competitive.
But the start they've got, and what I've seen of the wicket and how it's been playing, I'll tell you what, they've got to be looking at 300 plus. It's that good a wicket, unless something drastically changes and it starts holding up and starts turning. But it just seems to me to be an absolute belter of a surface.
Play and miss. He's nearing his half century, 47 of 45. He's beaten again. That's a beautiful delivery from Sikandar Raja.
Just when I say there's no demons in the pitch, he's played and missed 2 that have gone arrow straight, playing for a little bit of turn. Given there this time. You can't bowl there. It's not a great delivery. He knows it. And applause from everybody around the ground, including the captain, Afg Live. It's been a good hand from Isanulla. 51 of just 47 deliveries. End of the 13th, 73 for none.
ویتامین سی
برای اولین بار از نوشابه‌های ژاپنی در افغانستان.
The 13th over has produced a big moment, a milestone to celebrate. Ehsanullah getting to his 51 of 47 and played some delightful cricket shots throughout his innings, and it's captain, he must be kicking himself to get to century, maybe a 3-figure mark on this excellent batting surface. I've been thinking about describing a leg spinner. Here he is, Kramer into the attack. He bowled really well in the 2020s.
Bowled really well, and I was just wondering whether he'd bring himself into the attack now, and he has to, because they need a wicket. They can't keep going on like this. They need to try and create an opportunity, and the man to do it for me is Graham Creamer. Another guy that hasn't bowled is Tendai Chitara, not used yet, so obviously looking for him to do a role at the back end of the innings with his Yorkers and slower balls. I get that, but he can also do a bit of damage up front, and I definitely would have used him for a few overs up front, not just to bowl in the middle and at the death.
Lovely touched-up delivery, and that's where he might create some problems for Afghanistan with his flighted deliveries, different trajectories and different pace.
This is the moment. Pasted through the covers, nobody out there, and raced away for 4. Oh, I just had to hurry a wee bit there. Ahmed Shahzad was ambling through, and it was Craig Irvin that returned it to Captain Brendan Taylor. And he just had to put in a few hard yards at the end. Here he goes, he's just ambling back in there, and suddenly there he's got to get a shake on. The bat sticks in the ground, but I think he was okay, he was over the line.
Well, he was on perambulation duty that moment, and then had to rush, and a direct hit would have created some ripples. Just in there, safety, I think. Third umpire to make a decision here. Not out. Is the written scribbles there on the giant screen.
Here's the CEO of Afghanistan Cricket, Shafiq Stanixai, on the right of your screen. He'll be very happy with what he's seeing on the field. Got his hands full this year with the Afghan Premier League coming up, World Cup qualifiers. Lots on for Afghanistan cricket. Exciting times. It's up in the air now. Is this the opportunity? It is. Wallace underneath it, drops it, puts it down, and goes for 4. Wow. You wouldn't have expected that. He created the chance. Good Graham Creamer. And, well, we'll have to say he's made a meal of that, Malcolm Moller. Really has. Didn't look set, didn't look confident, and in the end, spills it.
Yeah, lovely touched-up delivery. Just mistiming it, hitting it in the air, was in the air for a long time. Shahzad given up, but overrunning and then running back and not holding it properly. So dropped chance that might further damage the status of the game for the team Zimbabwe.
Not only do you have the feeling when you drop the catch that you've gone, oh, what have I done? But then you see it dribble over the boundary for 4 as well. It makes it doubly worse.
Goes big and makes a great connection. It's out of here. 6. Massive strike. 14 overs gone, 85 for no wicket.
فريش بي بي دايبار علوم دسمال ترکیه هوا صاف. فريش بي بي ستاسو د ګرانو ماشومانو لپاره بهترین انتخاب.
The Afghanistan Premier League, not far away, 5 franchises, 30 top T20 foreign players, 75 Afghanistan talent on display, and the player auction, of course, will be coming soon. The Afghanistan Cricket Board organizing that, and he's going to be the man behind. Mr. Stanexai, the CEO of Afghanistan Cricket Board. So that's going to be a big mega event as well. Afghanistan Premier League. Probably going to host it around October this year. And joining me in the combox is Neil for the first time.
Thank you so much, Ajay, and it's going to be a fantastic lineup of cricket for Afghanistan there. Tendai Chatara comes into bowl. 45 matches, 61 wickets, and economy of 5.15. Young lad, 26 years of age. And he'll have to create an impact that the rest of the bowlers haven't been able to. Bowling in from the far end, Chatara. Shot jagged into the body. That is what Alistair has been speaking about earlier today, that the strength of the Zimbabwean bowlers is to bowl short. That's what we saw. And that is what troubled the Afghan batsmen. Here the crowds seeping in to watch this fantastic game. Afghanistan going very steady on 86. And it's going to be a good day of entertainment for the Afghan supporters. It's a Friday, mind you. A holiday in this part of the world. And the numbers in the audience just increasing.
Yes, and it's a delight for them that Malik Shahzad is still out there. He had a lucky reprieve in the last over. Should have been taken by a bowler, missing that opportunity. And, as they say, once a good batsman is given a life, he normally capitalizes, makes use of that. That's exactly what happened, going for the big one. Waller was the fielder in the deep. That should have been taken at this level. This is running a bit ahead, really not in a great position, and then conceding a 4 as well.
Well, as I say, insult over injury, and that's what happened. It's a good start here by Chatara. 3 deliveries, just 2 runs.
Well, you can also say, Neil, rubbing salt on the wound, isn't it? One, you have dropped that catch, and then conceding a boundary.
Well, absolutely, and you never know when you give life to a batsman like Shahzad, what he would turn out to do. Meanwhile, this one, again, dealing in singles in this Chatara over.
Really played well. He's really played well. Some lovely shots coming from his blade. Insanullah took his time early on, but just see the strike rate, brilliant, 103.80. Whenever the opportunity was there, never afraid to take the middle route, clearing the boundaries with a lot of ease. Made use of the first 10 overs, the first power play. Some thick outside edges, but some glorious shots as well. And a very good half century by the young man. Doesn't have much experience, but the way he's batted, Sanullah really shows a lot of promise. Shahzad, on the other hand, has taken his time today, especially early on, 34 or 37.
Well, yes, Ehsan going into the top gear almost immediately and made Shahzad to take the second fiddle's role. And that's what he's been doing. But then, again, look at it from this perspective that he's hit 4 boundaries and 1 massive 6, Shahzad. And will come in true playing international cricket after a year.